Hello, welcome, James MacNeil here. What is anxiety? What is it? How do we find ourselves in anxiety? And what do you do about it? These are three questions I'm going to answer today. So, first of all, let me say I'm not a psychiatrist, psychologist, psychoanalyst, psychotherapist, and I'm not Dr. Phil. I'm not certified. So if you need like a psychiatrist or psychologist, psychotherapist, all that kind of stuff, listen, go see them. I love them. I respect them. Everyone's good at what they do. I'm good at what I do. So here's what I'm able to do. I'm able to give you things in a perspective that often helps people. So I'm going to take a shot at this, see if I can't help you and those you love. If you've never been anxious, ever, be patient, it's going to happen. Or if it's never going to happen to you, listen, you live in the real world, someone you know is going to need to hear this. So let's go. What is anxiety? So ego is not your amigo. It's an idea that messes with our human existence. It's an idea that thinks it's you. It's not an evil spirit or anything. It's just an idea. And many psychologists, psychiatrists would call it a pathological mental illness of which we all suffer. That's ego. Now, ego is focused on what you don't know, what you don't have, what you can't do, and who's not with you. So ego is like the negative, the absence of the positive, the absence of love, the disconnection from source, divine love, or God. Boom. Now, it shows up in three different time frames in multiple ways. But the big three to talk about today is the past. Negative energy towards the past can create something called depression. People talk about depression. I'm not an expert on these things, but that's what I'm told. That's where it comes from. Then there's something called discontent. You know some people that they're not happy no matter what. If they weren't miserable, they'd be depressed about it. Like they have to have something to whine, bitch, moan, complain about. They're committed to discontent. They're never happy. So there's people who are not happy. That's a now thing. There's some people who are depressed, negative energy towards the past. And then there's people who are anxious. That's negative energy towards the future. So the negative energy towards the future, anxiety, shows up whether I'm thinking positive or negative about the future. So I could be anxious as it relates to, I'm afraid something bad's going to happen. I'm afraid that someone's going to take something, or I'm not going to have enough money, or what if the business doesn't work out, or blah, 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 blah. What if I go bald? I'm just going to get sexier. That's what's going to happen. But sometimes we look at the future and we have some negative energy towards it. Like, what if, what if, what if, what if? So those who suffer from this suffer twice, because let's say something bad happens tomorrow. You suffered today thinking about it, and then you suffer tomorrow when it actually happens. Most of our troubles never actually occur. They're just in our head. And I think you can accept what I'm saying here. So we can have negative energy about the past. The negative energy about the past could be the good old days, I wish I was back there. Or the bad old days, I'm a victim because of what happened. Or I could be discontent right now to say, oh, I wish my shirt was brighter. Or I wish I had hair. I don't. I never knew what to do with hair. This is a gift from God. So a person who's discontent is not happy with what is now. So discontent is now. Depression is back then, good or bad. And anxiety could be, I can't wait. So I'm anxious to make something happen. I'm anxious to get rich, or I'm anxious to find the person I want. Or I'm anxious because I'm afraid of the negative that might occur. So anxiety is not being present. That's what it is. And so the reason why we get anxious is we start being future-minded. Now, in the episode 1, Phantom Menace, episode 1 of Star Wars, and if you want to understand the order of the Star Wars movies, don't we all? Nobody understands it. It doesn't make any sense. That said, episode 1 with Liam Neeson, he is Qui-Gon Jinn, and he is training young Obi-Wan Kenobi, his Padawan apprentice. I think that's what they call it. Anyway, one of the opening scenes, they're on the spaceship, they're on the space station, and they're going to go towards a meeting. And the young apprentice says, Master, something terrible has happened in the forest. I fear for the future. And the master says, what are you doing thinking about that? He says, well, you told me to be mindful of the future. He says, yeah, but never at the cost of the present, which means be mindful of the future, but stay present. Your best chances at tomorrow is how you are in this moment. The best chance for your happily ever after is how you are right now. And if you're not living in right now, you're decreasing the odds of perfection. Make sense? So the more time we spend present, mastering the moments, the greater likelihood of all of our best tomorrows. So stressing out about tomorrow does not make today better, and it certainly doesn't increase your odds of how tomorrow's going to play out. So again, anxiety is negative energy focused on the future. I can't wait. which is kind of saying, I'm not willing to be happy until I get that person or that car or that business or da 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 da. Which, by the way, is an addiction. So whenever you get it, you're going to immediately want something else, right? And then that's not enough. So the only way to your best possible future is to be present, to be fully engaged and fully detached. I'm here, I'm being the best person I can be. How do I best bring love into this moment, right? What's the best thing I can do right now with what I know, with what I have, with what I can do, and with who's with me? What is the greatest mastery of the moments I'm currently in? And by being present, we then free ourselves from anxiety and depression and discontent because we're at present peace. And then I'll give you a tip on how to do that. You might say, James, that's too simple. Well, it's just a fact. Best thing you can do, take a deep breath. I'm not kidding. Sit up nice and straight, create a straight torso, breathe in, deep diaphragmatic breath, deep into your belly. Beautiful. Nice. So that can create calm in the physical body. So the reason why this is so powerful, so simple, is your body is always now, which means it is not in the ego land of the past or the future. Also, it is when it's calm, it is not in current discontent or current tension. So when we take a long, slow, deep breath, so fill the whole lung capacity down to the belly, hold it for a few moments, blow it out like through a straw, and then you'll just feel this calm. And by the way, a ton of really happy drugs get released from your brain and start healing your body. It's good for you. It's good in a lot of ways. And what it does is it brings you back to what's called present peace. So you're no longer at this moment experiencing depression or discontent or anxiety. At this moment, I have peace. And when you string a bunch of those together, you've got yourself a magnificent life. So strong suggestion, be in present peace. And the better you are here and now, the better you shows up today, the better your experience will be tomorrow. Stressing about it won't make it better. Becoming the best version of you right now. What can I do? What do I know? What do I have I can work with? Who's with me? Get into a constructive, positive state, and you, my dear friend, will be grateful for it. So anxiety is future tense. Depression, past tense. Discontent, present tense. Where we want to get to is present peace. We connect to divine now and then, and we enjoy our best possible life as our best possible self. James MacNeil, thank you so much for asking your question about anxiety. I hope this helps.